US President Donald Trump urged EU officials to hit China with tariffs of up to 100% on Tuesday. That's according to sources including a US official and an EU diplomat. It's part of a strategy to pressure Russian President Vladimir Putin. One source further said Trump encouraged the EU to put similarly large tariffs on India. Both China and India are major buyers of Russian oil. That plays a key role in keeping Russia's economy going as it continues its invasion of Ukraine. Trump's request was reportedly put across through a conference call to EU sanctions envoy David O'Sullivan and other EU officials. The EU delegation is currently in Washington to discuss sanctions coordination. The EU diplomat said the US indicated it was willing to impose similar tariffs if the bloc followed Washington's request. Trump has often threatened to impose tariffs on India and China as punishment for buying Russian crude. He hiked tariffs on India over the summer by 25 percentage points, in part due to its economic relationship with the Kremlin. But he has yet to move forward on the more punishing options he's floated. Trump has at times complained that Europe itself has not fully decoupled from Russia. Moscow supplied just under a fifth of EU gas imports last year. The bloc says it's committed to fully ending its dependency on Russian energy.
Huangyan Island is China's inherent territory, and the establishment of Huangyan Island National Nature Reserve is within China's sovereignty. It aims to protect the ecological environment of Huangyan Island, maintain the diversity, stability, and sustainability of the natural ecosystem of Huangyan Island. It conforms to China's domestic and international laws and fully reflects that China, as a responsible big country, actively protects the ecological environment and promotes the mission of achieving sustainable development. The territory of the Philippines has long been defined by a series of international treaties, and Huangyan Island has never been among them. The Chinese side does not accept the unreasonable accusations and so-called protests of the Philippine side, and urges the Philippine side to effectively stop the relevant infringement, provocation, and wanton hype, and avoid complicating the maritime situation.
The incursion of Russian drones into Poland this week was yet another harsh reminder to airlines of the challenges presented by global conflicts. Poland shot down the drones in its airspace with the support of military aircraft from NATO allies. But aviation and insurance experts say it's led to safety concerns over the vulnerability of civil air transport in Europe. At least 4 key airports in Poland were temporarily closed before resuming operations. Growing conflict zones around the world have raised the burden on airline operations and profitability. Ryanair CEO Michael O'Leary warned Thursday the Russia-Ukraine war would be an ongoing issue for all European airlines for years to come. Carriers face fewer route options with airspace closures in multiple regions including Russia, Ukraine and the Middle East. Detours then add to fuel costs and lengthen journey times. The coordination agency Eurocontrol has said Ukraine's closed airspace has added to congestion in the region's skies. Many international carriers have suspended flights to the area due to fears of missile and drone interference. They're also keeping a close eye on conflict in the Middle East, including Israel's attempt on Tuesday to kill Hamas leaders in Qatar. Worries about further disruption for the travel industry are pressuring airline stocks. Shares in British Airways owner IAG fell around 4% Wednesday following the latest incident, while EasyJet, Lufthansa and Ryanair also fell. One expert said airlines may now review their risk assessments in Poland, while 2 senior aviation insurance sources said the market was watching events in Poland and Qatar closely.
6-year-old Omar Abu Kuwait still believes that by his next birthday, his missing hand will have grown back. Omar is one of the thousands of Palestinian children affected by the ongoing conflict in Gaza. His family was killed by an Israeli airstrike that destroyed their home in December 2023, leaving Omar as the sole survivor. Now in Beirut for medical treatment, he is among a small group of Gazan families who arrived in the Lebanese capital earlier this month. After the attack, Omar was found with severe injuries, including a severed hand. With Gaza's hospitals in ruins, his aunt, Maha Abu Kuwait, sought help from the World Health Organization, which helped evacuate Omar to Egypt and then to Lebanon. She had to leave her own children behind in Gaza to go with him.
He left at the right time because when I took him from the hospital, there was no bed for Omar due to the overcrowding in the hospital with all the injuries and martyrs. I mean, walking, I had to step over people. Omar was sleeping on a mattress on the floor.
In Beirut, doctors are exploring options for a prosthetic hand and a reconstructive surgery for Omar. His journey to recovery is shared by others, like Amir Hajjaj, a 14-year-old who also suffered life-altering injuries from the conflict.
I was just sitting on a chair. Then suddenly everything turned red, exploded, and I fell on the ground. When I heard the missile, I found myself on the ground, off the chair. I flew and fell on the ground.
The United Nations Children's Fund reports that at least 45,000 children in Gaza have been wounded, with over 18,000 fatalities among children. Recent efforts to evacuate civilians have stalled due to relentless airstrikes, decimated infrastructure, and shifting Israeli evacuation routes. The conflict, sparked by a cross-border attack into Israel by militant group Hamas, has resulted in a staggering death toll and left many families in desperate need of aid.
These women are revved up and challenging established norms in Iran. They're just some of a growing number of women riding motor scooters, some without a license, in a country where authorities routinely reject their applications for one on religious grounds. Farah Ahmadi is one of them.
The future of women riding motorcycles is like that of driving cars. Right now, women are really driving very well. I don't think riding motorcycles is a problem at all. We can do it completely legally. We can have our licenses, and just like driving cars or doing other activities, we can definitely do it.
Ahmadi said some people in Iran have old-fashioned ideas and say women simply shouldn't ride. There is no official law banning women from holding licenses to ride motorcycles or scooters, but hardliners argue that allowing women to ride violates Islamic codes of modesty and risks revealing one's figure. Ahmadi says she tones down her attire to better fit in while riding through Tehran.
One of the challenges I have is that when I style myself more in this way, it's because I want people to assume I am a man, which they often do. For example, when they pass by me, they'll say, "Excuse me, sir, where is such and such address?" But one of my concerns is that if they realize I'm a woman, they might suddenly pass by me with hostility, do something that really throws me off balance, or something might even happen to me.
For women like Sakar Zairi, riding on two wheels powered by an engine simply brings her joy.
Its effect is also very uplifting and refreshing. Motorcycling itself gives me a very good excitement during the day. Also, it really saves a lot of time, and this has truly had a significant impact on my life.
Law enforcement officials have said that some regulations must change in order to issue licenses to more women. Currently, unlicensed riders face fines and possible jail terms. Many of the women who have taken to riding scooters and motorcycles say it's about the right to live in a freer society and equal rights with men.
Zara owner Inditex reported a better start to its autumn sales on Wednesday. It's an encouraging sign for the world's biggest listed fast fashion retailer. It's been grappling with what its chief executive called a complex market environment. Sales from August the 1st to September the 8th surged 9% in currency-adjusted terms compared to a year ago. Shares in Inditex, which have fallen this year, gained 6% in early trading Wednesday. The start of the third quarter was an improvement after sales for the second quarter came in at $11.8 billion, below expectations. A weaker US dollar was partly to blame, and Inditex said currency changes would erode sales by 4% in 2025. A weaker dollar means sales in the US, Inditex's second biggest market by revenue after Spain, are worth less in euro terms. Donald Trump has hiked tariffs on imports from a large number of major trading partners. That's driving many clothing and sneaker retailers who source from factories in Asia to hike US prices.